boy, I'll tell you, I think we take for granted, or we don't even realize a lot of times how important everyday medicine is around us, right? I mean, it could be, go to the doctor, or it could be, I'm just going to take an aspirin. That's medicine. That's technology in some shape, form, fashion, or way. I don't know about you, but who really likes going to the doctor? Nobody. But in a weird way, though, it feels good. It's like, oh, someone's taking care of me. And when I was a kid, we had my pediatrician, and God rest his soul, he has gone, passed on, but he was this tall ex-Navy vet named Dr. Ping Pang, I believe. So we used to call him Pang, but I would, call him Doctor. But yeah, he was like 6'7", very imposing as a pediatrician. So early on, I was like, I don't want a doctor. He was a great doctor, but anyways, so some of my early memories, I'm sure like you too, as a kid who wanted to go to the pediatrician. But today's show is not about necessarily pediatricians, but today's show is about medicine in 2050. What's up, everybody? It's DJ Tony. I'm not a DJ. I'm a DJ. I am a DJ. Wait a second. I'm a DJ. I'm not a DR. That's right. So always check with healthcare professionals. I'm just talking because I'm a person who lives on Earth like you and has taken an interest in my own health and just the healthcare industry in general. So today's show, Wellness Week Live, medicine in 2050. Now, if you think about this, right? And again, always check with healthcare professional. But, when we think about medicine in 2050, oh my God, that's like 10,000 years away. Actually, no, it's 27 years away from now. So most of you hearing this, most of us will be around. And so we have some awesome, amazing medical breakthroughs that are coming, that are here now, and that are getting perfected. And by the year 2050, it's going to blow your mind. So let's get right into it. Wellness Week Live. So one of the first things that are that will be coming and is here now, but it's in its relatively infancy stage. Speaking about infants, would be genetic modification editing. Like, when you edit film or you edit audio, or you cut something out to add something in, whether it's a recipe or whatever you're editing, right? Well, now we know how to edit the human genes. Your genes, we can edit. I don't know if you know the ramifications of that, though. I mean, that means they can cut out, an embryo's, not cut the embryo out. Well, people do that too, but we're talking about the gene. So you have a baby that's going to be born, an embryo, so a mommy's pregnant. They can go into the genetics, the gene, the code of that soon-to-be baby and edit out, okay, we don't want them to have, we see that they have this disease or propensity for this disease. We're going to cut out the gene that makes spina bifida. Or we're going to cut out the gene that's going to give them cleft palate. Or we're going to cut the gene out that's going to, we see there's, autism or possible autism. So that's where we're going. And in 2050, which again, is going to probably be in our lifetime, that's going to be readily available. My prediction and what I see and what I read about. And again, that's not long off. And the thing is called CRISPR, like crispy, though it's an acronym. So it's a CRISPR, CRISPR. And that means that, again, doctors or scientists will be able to cut out the bad stuff and leave the good stuff, even to the point where, okay, I don't want my child to have green eyes. I want them to have blue eyes, et cetera, et cetera. So we're in a brave new world, but that obviously, yes, there'll be I'm sure people will exploit this and do bad things, but everything has pros and cons, right? I mean, the invention of fire, the invention of the wheel, the invention of a knife, you can cook a meal or burn a house down, but we're going to march forward. So that's pretty exciting news. And that's here now. I mean, they know how to do some basic gene editing. So we're here now. This is not some long way thing that might happen or might not happen. This is something that is like, whoa, we're here. It's just a matter of perfecting it and getting it cost effective. Moving on. Do needles bother you? Ow! I don't want to get a shot. Nobody likes shots, right? Well, I don't know about you, but I donate blood usually and regularly for charity. Actually, I got an appointment coming up next week. And if you think a needle hurts to get a shot for whatever, you're sick, try giving blood. The gauge, that needle is like they're sticking a spear in your arm. But now I don't want to make it that bad. You should give blood if you can, by the way. It's a great cause, great thing to do. But needles, something simple like that. By 2050, there'll be no more needles that you can feel. They'll administer a shot. And this technology exists now. When I say technology, I'm not only talking about electronics, but anything that is a new invention or new engineering is a technology. So shots, you'll be getting a shot and you won't even know what happened. they'll just essentially like touch you with a piece of plastic. You'll see a piece up like a plastic chip or something, or a plastic little square, lay it on your arm, boom, done. You're like, wait a second, when am I getting my shot? You just got it. What? But I didn't feel anything. And so we're talking a shot that, or multiple needles that are close together. And so it doesn't feel like a needle. And the gauge, so to speak, the hole is the size of like a mosquito. You know, when a mosquito bites you, you only realize you've been bitten when the mosquito's gone. So that's how fine and small the needles will be in 27 years from now. And that exists now, but again, it's a matter of perfecting it, getting it to market. So all the things we're going to be talking about today are about things that are here now that just need to be perfected, explored a little bit more, and brought to market on mass scale. So, all right, let's moving on. They got some really doozies here that are just like, what? That's coming down the pike. This is here. So testing for diseases. Can you imagine, right, today when we have to test for a disease, what do we have to do, right? You have to get a blood test. You got to go for an MRI, CT, a PET scan, very kind of relatively invasive stuff. Can you imagine just going for a test for anything, and all you got to do is breathe? That's it. Boom, done. Through your breath, they'll be able to diagnose, wow, you have this disease or that disease. That's coming. And in many ways, we have that now. Think about this, a breathalyzer. When the police have checkpoints, right? And God forbid, you're someone that's been drinking, you blow into this breathalyzer. They're analyzing literally your breath. So that's science, that's technology. And it's just a matter of perfecting that. So, because our DNA and the DNA of everything and anything that's in us, on us, sheds when we walk. You know that cartoon character from the Peanuts, the dirty little kid that wherever he walks, there's like a cloud of just dirt. Well, anything that's alive, and us humans are no different, when we walk, we also shed a plume every second of every day. We're shedding massive clouds of DNA into the air, and our breath is no different. So it's just a matter of how can we nano measure that to determine what disease you have or don't have. And we're going to get into the nano technology right now. So that's an exciting new world that we're going to be getting into. So nanomedicine. So can you imagine, there's nanomedicine, meaning literally the medicine that's nano, very, 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 very small, but also nano detection. So the nano detection would come first, and then your nanomedicine, then also nanorobotics. It's crazy. So nano detection, that's kind of the segue from testing breath. The nano detections will be so sensitive that you will be able to detect something, whether it's through breath, through the air around you, through swabbing your skin. And again, these things kind of exist in a rudimentary way now, right? We can swab the inside of your mouth and detect DNA and test that DNA. So we're there. And so the reason why nano detection is so breathtaking, no pun intended, is because, again, by 2050, gone will be the days where I got to go for a test and I got to, I can't eat and I got to poke me with this and put this in me and I got to go into this tunnel. And those days will be gone. They'll just simply scan or get a Q-tip and swipe the skin on your arm, or just, please, can you breathe into this? Boom, done. We're going to find out everything we need to know. If you have cancer, if you have meningitis, if you have this or that, or whatever it is, they'll be able to know just from the breath. And you see it spooky enough. Dogs can sniff for cancer, and they're very, very accurate dogs. And this is not a joke. You look it up. Now, that proves that gene for the genetic code of cancer is in the air on you, because the dogs are sniffing. So if that means it's there. So we have to develop, and we are developing, the tools and technology and sensors to do the same thing the dogs are doing, but more accurate. And the dogs are pretty damn accurate. But so yeah, look that up. Dogs and sniffing for cancer. It's amazing. But okay, so moving on. Now we have the nanomedicine. Imagine, God forbid, by the way, I just want to go back to one thing though about nano detection. They will be able to detect a disease. Let's just say it's cancer, right? Before the cancer even shows itself. So nowadays, when you want to go get detected for something, right, let's say it's cancer, you're going for a mammography or a colonoscopy, whatever. The tools we have today are, we're looking, we want to see something, and then the doctor will make, oh, wow, okay, there's an issue. Well, nano detection will be able to detect cancers and any disease without it even being shown. So, right when the body makes the first atom, the first molecule, the first deviation in cell, which would never show in an MRI, CAT scan, or PET scan, or camera, it'll be known that you have this disease. And so right when it's invisible, science will be able to detect it. Can you imagine? And that's coming. That's here now, but again, it has to be perfected. Now, that's amazing. So, because today, like I said, you need a CAT scan, a PET scan, you need an ultrasound, something to quote unquote see, to detect. Well, now you'll be able to detect cancers before they even show themselves. Can you imagine that? And then the nanomedicine. So the nanomedicine is we will shoot the medicine into that one cell, the one cancerous cell in your whole body, or the one cancerous, what do you call it? Cells in your body, and just boom, they get killed, they get taken away, done. So you'll take a pill, or you'll take a shot that you won't feel, and it'll be programmed to hone in on that one tiny, tiny bit of molecules or atoms or cell, and just take that cell out. Boom, done. Gone are the days of having radiation. Gone are the days of having chemotherapy. That will be because of nanodetection and nanomedicine. So you won't even know, and it'll just affect that one bad cell, or those 3 or 4 or 5 bad cells. And you take your medicine, you go on about your day. You just you just had your cancer cured, and you're on the beach. I mean, that's what's coming, and it's not some far off dream. That the technology, again, is in rudimentary stages now, but here we go. Then there's nanorobotics, which are, I don't know that you would even need the nanorobotics oftentimes if you can, thwart and do CRISPR and genetic editing and all that stuff. But nanorobotics are what it sounds like. There are robots that are small, so small they can fit on the tip of a pencil. And again, you would have this put into you, which you wouldn't even know it was in you. You'll drink some water that it has in there or whatever, and then these little robots go and they repair your artery or your vein, or your take out a bad actor in the brain, whether it be a growth or an issue, and the robots operate, and boom, done. You're having an operation, and again, you're hanging out with your friends, you're in the park, or you're on a beach. That's nanorobotics. So, and again, we have the precursors to this. Like, for instance, if you might know someone who's usually older, but they could have a pacemaker, right? A pacemaker is not a nanorobot. It's a small robot. It's a small piece of technology, and it is implanted into the human chest. Now, can you imagine if we can make something that small? We can make something even smaller. It's called a stent. If someone has an arterial stent, a stent is a little bridge that opens, an artery so blood can flow through. That's also a type. It's not a robot, but it shows proof of concept that we can make things that small, and we can make things even smaller and motorized. So when I say motorized, I don't mean it's going to have an engine per se, but so that's coming. And when we have these precursors now, so we're here, and the nanorobots will be able to do these robotic operations on your heart, your leg, your arm, your brain, whatever, without even cutting you open. And you'll just swallow a pill or get a little injection, and the nanorobots go to work. That's coming, and that's coming on or before or about 2050. Moving on, more interesting stuff. I think that now 5G, like the cell phone 5G, this is something that's happening really immediately. We're not going to have to wait to 2050, but we see 5G, right? Now, just a little setting the table here. 5G hasn't been fully rolled out yet, and its full power. You have to read up on this, but there's basically different levels to 5G. It's like buying a Kohler toilet. There's Kohler, and then there's Kohler. There's 5G, and then there's 5G. So there's different levels. But once 5G gets fully rolled out, and it is instantaneous, you're going to have, and this already exists. It can be done already, but again, it hasn't been perfected. You're going to have a doctor that's in Alaska, and the doctor in Alaska will operate on somebody in New York City in real time, and he'll basically using a video game controller to do the operation in New York, but the doctor's in Alaska. That's happening now. and it can happen now, but it hasn't been perfected. The robots exist, 5G exists, but again, things haven't been perfected. And this might have happened. I don't know. May have happened already on Earth. I mean, I haven't seen a report about it, but all the technology definitely exists. It just hasn't been prolific and perfected. But can you imagine that? You have to operate on somebody. Not a problem. I'm in Texas. I'm going to operate on somebody in Pennsylvania, and the doctor will control the robotic scalpel and the robotic arms in real time. There's no lag, and you'll have the heart operation, or you'll have the whatever it is the doctor has to do. So that's amazing, and that's what the power of 5G will enable us to do: instantaneous control of robotics. The other thing is we have robots now. It's called a Da Vinci robot, and this robot or robots like this are probably in every major hospital already. And I've seen these robots actually. They can literally peel the skin off of a grape. Can you imagine? I mean, and these robots are here now in 2000 and the time that we're listening to this. By 2050, I mean, I would firmly believe that artificial intelligence with the robotic arms and the robot, you're not going to need the doctor there. The doctor might be overseeing it again from across the country, but the robot will take care of everything on its own. They'll just wheel you in. You might say, "Oh, that's crazy," but it's already happening now in a rudimentary way, so to speak. I mean, the robots are working now. The doctors are there, but the doctors are controlling the robot from 1 foot away. But eventually, it'll be 1 mile away. They're not going to, or 1,000 miles away. So we're here. This is happening, and it's exciting. I mean, because the robots have a steadier hand than a human doctor does, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so the next thing is going to be artificial placentas or artificial what do you call wombs, and that exists now. Look it up, because in China they have artificial wombs that are bearing cattle, sheep. So it's something out of sci-fi. You see these artificial wombs hanging from the ceiling, and inside it's translucent. You can see, oh wow, there's a baby cattle like growing in this thing. Guess what? If you can do that, drum roll, you know what else you can do? You can make a human out of that. You can make a human from that. And I'm sure that's probably happened somewhere, but it hasn't been, it's a little taboo, but that's coming. And that, I would make the argument, is a good thing, because in America, a very modern country, America, we lose hundreds of women per year from childbirth. And that's not counting all the side effects and the hurt and the pain that women have to go through to give birth. Us men don't understand that. So, if I'm a woman, I'm like, duh, sign me up for that one, that we can have the baby via artificial womb, and you could save so many women's lives and injury and hurt and pain. So that exists now. Again, it hasn't come to, to market, so to speak, but it's here. And I would say that's coming before 2050, but in the sense of it'll be used readily all over the world. Also, this is exciting, and this is kind of here now too, digital twin. So can you imagine a doctor giving you a checkup, but the doctor doesn't check you up. The doctor checks your digital twin, your stunt double, so to speak, if you will. So again, the technology exists now. It's rudimentary, but the doctor or the lab will have everything they need to know about you and your genetics, because you would have your genome mapped and everything, and every couple of years they would update it, with everything from your weight, your cholesterol, this and that, and they'll be able to project with artificial intelligence and say, "Oh, Mr. Jones, we see in 3 years you're probably going to have you're going to have polyps, or you're going to have a blockage in your artery somewhere, or you're going to have osteoporosis coming in 3 years. We're going to put you on meds now, nanomeds now." But you didn't even go to the doctor. They just went on to your account online and they checked your digital twin. So that's amazing, because again, saves you the time, the hassle, and the hurt to be like getting probed and poked and prodded. So you'll have your stunt double, your clone, so to speak, your digital twin, and that's in the works now, and it's amazing. I mean, so that's a good thing. AI and AI doctors, that's another thing. Check this one off. So, and again, you see kind of precursors to this already. So you won't have to go to a GP anymore. And I predict by 2050, I think most GPs are going to be out of business. They're going to have to go do something else, because artificial intelligence will be able to diagnose you initially as a GP, or a nurse practitioner or a PA, because we see this now, right? You get your cell phone, you go on FaceTime, and your doctor does telemed, right? And your doctor can look in your throat or see your face. Well, yeah, you got a little pink eye there, and we'll prescribe you some meds. We'll send it to your house. That happens now. Well, AI will be able to determine if also you have pink eye and be 100% right. And so AI, you'll put your phone to your face and open your mouth, and the camera will look, and the AI doctor will be like, essentially, you have strap, because it'll be looking and knows to cross-reference from trillions of other cases, billions of other cases through the decades that, yep, that in fact is matching up to strep. And so you'll just have your medicine mailed to you or whatever. So AI doctors, GPs especially, I think that's coming well before 2050. And that's pretty cool. I mean, if you think about that, and again, we're kind of there, right? AI doctors, again, I think you're going to have, and this is one thing, if you know any doctors, they'll tell you, the biggest thing that doctors can't stand is probably doing a lot of paperwork. That takes away from them actually practicing what they went to school for. Well, don't worry about it, because we got AI. And so when a doctor speaks in a room and is talking to a patient, the doctor will be essentially transcribing everything in real time. The AI will make the paperwork and submit it, boom, done. And the doctor didn't lift a pencil. The doctor didn't have to type anything, because AI is always listening. So it's kind of like having Alexa in the room in the doctor's office and knows to just transcribe everything that's been said and everything about the person, what they said. And then there's no need to do paperwork, because everything has been, again, transcribed automatically in 5G. So that's coming. And the AI helping doctors to streamline the operations of, again, they don't have to fill out paperwork. They don't have to look at paperwork. It's everything has been recorded, because you are living in the matrix. So everything is just there. And again, we kind of have that with Alexa in a rudimentary way in our homes. Okay, so moving on. The robots strike again. Artificial robotic body parts, okay, like the heart, etc. That already exists, right? So we already have artificial hearts. Now, they haven't been perfected yet, but every second of every day, that artificial heart gets better and better. And I firmly believe by 2050, God forbid someone has a heart problem, not a big deal. Just swipe it out. Boom. Here's your artificial heart. You're good to go. This heart will be good for 100 years. Or you'll have, which we're going to get into, stem cells, and hearts will just be grown, and they can grow a heart for you, and you can have the, real heart, not the mechanical heart. Either way, you'll have a choice. You want the mechanical one, it costs this. You want the, the lab grown one, it's a real heart, muscle. We can swipe that in and out. Boom, done. So that's coming. And again, it's already here. We have the know-how to do it. It's just a matter of perfecting it, proliferating it, making it cost effective. So you'll have the best of both worlds on that. You can choose. You want the robotic heart, you want this, heart that was grown in a lab, in a bag that hung from a ceiling. And you see that a little bit right now with heart valves. You can have a lab grown heart valve, what they call a pig heart valve, or you can have a artificial heart valve. So again, it's not the whole heart, but you see the steps. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's pretty cool. So, and again, lab grown body parts. We have precursors to this now. They lab grow bladders all day long. So if you need a new bladder, boom, bing, bing, swipe it out like it's a pair of brakes in a car. So that's going to start getting better and better, where you can swipe out anything: bone, hair, skin, nails, heart, spleen, liver, kidneys. So you're not going to have to worry about, am I going to die? I can't find this organ. Not a problem. Pick the color you like. Boom, done. And I'm not being facetious. I mean, it's coming. And coming in our lifetime. And again, the technology exists. Okay, stem cells, another one that's really promising. And this has been around for a while, but growing whatever you want to grow from the building blocks of that person's DNA, the stem cells, or even just regular cells, and just cloning those cells and making, you name it, and they do that already with, ears and earlobes and noses and things like that. So that's coming, where the stem cells, the building blocks of anything in the body, can be done. Now there's some, arguments and moral stuff about the stem cells, especially embryonic stem cells. But I think science will be so good, we won't need embryonic stem cells. You'll also have 3D printing. You know how you want to print stuff? Well, we could just print your heart, which again goes back to, growing your own or stuff like that. And that ties into 5G, and it ties into 3D printing of, body parts. Again, we can kind of do that already. I also think you're going to see, in closing, a lot of wearable, detectable devices. Again, we have that already. You can get, I think Apple sells it, or someone sells it, where you can get your EKG done and it's FDA cleared and approved. It's not some toy. So you can test your heart at home. You just put your thumb on this little metal pad and boom, done. It can tell you if you have a problem or not. And then you can decide, oh, I need to go to see the doctor or not. So, but that'll be more integrated. Like, you'll have it in your clothing, your hat, your sunglasses, your cameras, everything will just be integrated, where your clothing, your house will tell you, Mr. Jones, your blood pressure is up, and you didn't even touch anything. Your clothes are detecting that. It's everything is meshed into this matrix of sorts. And I understand, oh no, the matrix is bad, but there's a lot of good that can come from being connected and being nano detected and things like that. So a lot of wearable devices, and they already exist now. Like I said, you have these Apple watches and different watches that can detect your whatever, your heart rate and yada yada yada, and it'll only get better and better and more, uh, sensitive to test not only for heart rate but uh, diseases, that again can be detected from these nano detection devices that are in our phone or in our watch or in our socks or in our jeans, like Levi's jeans. Sunglasses, can detect for retina cancer. I mean, so you'll be notified just like anything else. You'll get a notification on your phone, or it'll speak to you like, "Oh, Mrs. Jones, we noticed your blood sugar is quite high. You may want to get a test for whatever." So, and that's your watch telling you that, or your clothing telling you that. Again, detecting the air around you. We're really in a brave new world. I firmly believe that by 2050, I think, and that's 27 years from now, I think we're going to have a cure for all cancers, full stop, done. And if you think about it, we kind of have cures in a broad sense for many cancers, whether they be from pills like Gleevec that can cure certain types of leukemia that otherwise would have killed people in the past. Better operations. I know my father was cured from an operation. He had kidney cancer, doesn't have it anymore. So if he would have had that kidney cancer in 1878, or 1910, he'd be screwed. But modern day surgery, modern day, MRIs and CT scans have detected that. So we're only going to get better and better through better types of surgery, nanorobotics, better types of pills, nanomedicine, better types of, administering those medicines, where you don't have to blast somebody's whole body with chemotherapy. And again, we see precursors to that now, where someone has, God forbid, prostate cancer. They can zoom in and just radiate just the cancer itself. My mother had breast cancer, actually, and she went in, this is early 2000s, and they just hone in on just the cancer itself, pinpoint radiation to the breast. That's it. No chemo, no nothing. In outpatient procedure. She never felt sick, never had a problem. She beat cancer. Boom, done. And that was maybe 20 years ago. I mean, can you imagine 20 years from now how good it's going to be? So you'll have cancers that are inoperable today, but through nanorobotics and nanomedicines, will just be, take a pill, or we'll give you this injection and we're going to program the medicine to hit that tumor and just dissolve it. Boom, done. And you don't even have to, don't worry about it. That's not a wish. That's not a hope. That's coming, and we're hot on the trail. So I think diseases like cancer is many, many hundreds of separate sub-diseases, but through CRISPR, through modern day better tools for operating, through gene editing like that, through nanomedicine, nanodetection, nanorobotics, I think we're onto the trail, and we're hot. We're on it, So, and like I said, there's things that are happening now in medicine that already are being done that are just miraculous and curing people of whatever it may be, fixing hearts in utero, I mean, it's just, and then a lot of stuff I didn't touch on, but if you know of anything, if you heard of anything, please feel free to put them in the comments. But I mean, I look back and I see so many people, friends and family and colleagues that I lost to all types of diseases that even today they're curable now, or they're treatable now. And it's just like, wow, it's like every single day we're getting closer and closer. And I think by 2050, I think it'll be safe to say the average life expectancy of an American will be about, I would say, I think 100 years old. I think it'd be very, very reasonable that, an average American can make it to 100 very easily by 2050. 2050. And for sure, if you're a baby born in 2050, oh my God, yeah, I think you'd be able to live to 150. I firmly believe that because again, you're just swapping out disease stuff, you're detecting things before they become problems. You're growing uh, body parts when you need it. You're preventing things from happening before they even happen. Through genetic editing, you're preventing things from even ever happening. So I mean, it's an awesome world, and I think that um, you know those things will are going to add to quality of life, to happiness. It's just, and again, I'm only touching the surface. I'm sure I forgot something, but but yeah, if you heard of any new things that are coming out, put them in the comments below. I think it's great. I think it's awesome, and I think also because the world is connected now more than ever, ideas can be shared and challenged and honed better than ever before because we're all connected. So somebody that might have an idea or a breakthrough in Malaysia can share that with a doctor in Ireland in 5 seconds, where years ago it would have taken years to have them to communicate. Now, seconds, and with AI and supercomputing, and we can just map and see and cure and fix things just so much more rapidly than we did even 15, 20 years ago, never mind 100 years ago, so yeah, these are all not hopes. These are things that are coming, and it's exciting. So take care of yourself, everybody. You got to still eat right though, and take care of yourselves. But yeah, I mean, even real quick too, fixing someone who's paralyzed. I mean, again, growing nerve endings, having nanorobots mesh and patch that spine together back to normal function again. That's coming. We're close. We're very, very close. It's not hundreds of years away. We're talking decades away or years away for certain things. Um, you know, uh, so, and yeah, even just the big robotics, again, giving somebody a robotic arm or leg that moves just as good, if not better, than a human arm. That's coming. I mean, we have the robotic stuff now, but it's getting perfected every single day, better and better and better and better and better. So, and yeah, again, you could probably grow somebody an arm and have that operated and put that arm onto somebody through the nanorobotics. So because we do microsurgery now, but again, it'll be even better and better with the nano robotics. Anyway, so I can go on and on about this, but this is amazing stuff, and there's just so much stuff to talk about with this. I can go on and on and on. But anyways, take care of yourselves, everybody. Share this with somebody you love. Share it with somebody you hate. Thank you. And again, always check with your healthcare professionals. But this is just stuff that's just mind blowing and awesome. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hit the like and subscribe. I gotta get my freaking numbers up. Help me out. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.